Jack Cracker with about 3:30. Hello, Cracker. It's 4:45. I'm planning on stopping by your house about 5 and I'm just checking to see if you want any deal, Josh. Kevin. Going deep into the mind of the crazed MC.
The coolest conditions composed, never off below a fraction. My shoeless approach has been banned from the game like Joe Jackson. Snuck past security with a leader of Cole Bell. And for all of you scoring at home hearing me, it's cheaper than a motel. Up the middle, make the coach swallow his whistle, cause this'll spring out like snakes in a can of peanut brittle. Your scripts couldn't fly, folded in paper airplanes. Back to school for triple indies, I mingled with Cindy when she was still fair game. Mastered the diction and made tracks from the cassette it sits in. Now my position is solid like Ashford and Simpson. Kept to my kind, and that's my kind of bud. 50 and Nathan, hey, they pay that for a pint of blood. So till my time is up, words will intend to slip. Refuse to get rode around for nothing more than a horse head and a stick. Force fed in the shit, trying to keep a mind state in the United Snakes. At the same time, swing across venomous pits.
I'm feeling something in the air here.
Where's here?
I don't know, I'll write you when I get there.
I'm feeling something in the air here.
But where's here?
I don't know, I'll write you when I get there.
I'm feeling something in the air here.
Where's here?
I don't know, I'll tell you when I get there.
I'm feeling something in the air here.
But where's here?
I don't know, I'll write you when I get there.
Cracker Jack timing, Wang. Total concentration. You ready, Jack? I was born ready.
I think it goes something like this. I'm pretty sure. I've heard it before. I think. Yeah. I came up with it. This is it. Right here. I think it all starts out like goes like this. Hey yo, yuppies who feed on Druffy, the puppy's named Fluffy. She's got a body like Buffy, and these are cruel intentions, buddy. Who's nutty is almond joy when it's all deployed. You'll try having it covered up like priests molesting altar boys. I off the noise, filtered fresh from impurities, heard to be invertedly hanging overhead from the corners of obscurity. Collectively, the complexity of a recipe this elaborate has a destiny beyond being boxed up for Andrew Jackson's kitchen cabinet. They pick the pattern, habits kick like hacky sacks. Back with Jessica Rabbit, now it's lots of pepper for Roger in the Haas and Pfeffer. Jack, keep my obliques cheesy like Swiss colony. Mr. Novelty, I'm not. Please accept this apology. I'm in like holiday, follow lead on the shoulders of giants. All girls who put the biology, please feel free to practice science. Reside with an X and Y in a sec with a symmetrical alliance. Because if it wasn't for this, I'd probably be trying to sell you an electrical appliance.
I feel it, the words that be dancing on the ceiling. I'm kneeling to the hand of the man dealing. No healing, the fast service on the slow weekend. I'm bleeding from the spiked nerves that they feeding.
Shoot sped up atoms of one element into another until the nucleus is fused and a new element is discovered. None other than the slight udder needed to piss discolored. Kiss my lover goodbye, now I'm back to using rubbers. While some press, but can't manage to move a word. I flip type and run text into print like Johannes Gutenberg. Please don't disturb the well-written kitten turned tiger, spitting fire-formulated furballs, then zip my fly up. Commonly refer to myself as an anomaly. Oddly enough, most these MCs bother me like the voice of Gilbert Godfrey. I don't give a fuck. Oh wait, I almost forgot I do. Caught up in the momentum, in the moment, in the lust for Thai food. The tongue-tied typhoon, tycoon, and the story. If rhymes were weight, I'd have more bars in the U.S. bullion depository. From the mind's quarry, explosive blast to loosen the flashback to be extracted. Jack the Seal to the Bergerac in this rap oratory.
Feel it as his words be dancing on the ceiling. I'm kneeling to the hand of the man dealing. No healing, fast service on the slow week, and I'm bleeding from the spiked nerves that they feeding.
Well, some have gotten fancy under the big top. I stick to hip-hop and decide selling soda pop and cotton candy. You're a dandy without the lion. Underneath the garage, your band be practicing in. There was a vacancy you should have kept your eye on. Hung from the belt of Orion, neck broke from the first drop from a pull of this chicken wire that left some feathers flying in a major way. I got lines like theme parks on Labor Day. More blunts in the full front as the background slowly fades to gray. I came to play, aim to please. Heated from the Chardonnay, cut with antifreeze. Drinking games so they take the cards away. Go to parties with more barrels and road construction. I'm the finishing touch on touch-ups after post-production. First to retire with the most concussions. Heard it over the wire without needing to listen in on close discussions. Had to step out cause it was freezing inside. No need to be fed grapes by a head case. Looking for a reason to whine. Season the rhyme. Lines leaving you high. See and decide for yourself. You couldn't catch up with Heinz.
be dancing on the ceiling. I'm kneeling to the hand of the man dealing, no healing. Fast service on the slow week, and I'm bleeding from the spiked nerves that they feed, and you'll feel it as the words be dancing on the ceiling. I'm kneeling to the hand of the man dealing, no healing. Fast service on the slow week, and I'm bleeding from the spiked nerves that they feed, and feel it as the words be dancing on the ceiling. I'm kneeling to the hand of the man dealing, no healing. Fast service on the slow week, and I'm bleeding from the spiked nerves that they feed, and
Genesis, the penitent Sonic, but not the hedgehog, with a chronic habit that got pulled like teams of Alaskan sled dogs. Pickle this ridiculous nightingale in a coniferous, sick with this thrown tantrum a tongue from the back to the tip of it. Drugged on over the cone of culture from all the modern culprits of progress, so the consciousness stays altered. Echoes untold from the whole of abused and forgotten soul. Let it go, at least you knew the bride when she used to rock and roll. Master metaphorical metamorphosis with a corner office and the tendency to be out at sea, only to come back throwing swordfish. Release of endorphins, the portions of the brain yet to be explored, like the bottom of the ocean floor that was once believed to lay dormant. This author's haunted gauntlet of untaunted audio feeds got you open like blouses down south for Mardi Gras beads. Hardly gimmicky, no need to mimic me any sort of certificate of authenticity. My insistency on consistency, I believe, will eventually fit up the chimney with a push and a shove. You don't get me, not cause it's tricky, cause we don't fit like a foot in a glove. Flakes get frosted when tasted straight from the faucet, exhausted from whatever you're currently on, of that bullshit you recently come off of. In a stale fog of conspiracy from hill bop to hill bogs. Conspiracies of trade and exchanges, ages older than the stars. Hold your applause for the curtain call and let me do my thing before I vanish like documents prove who kill Martin Luther King.
This is for those rappers who temper their lack of lyrics with a flashy appearance in an attempt to superimpose themselves on the first sign of a movement that falls nearest.
I'm walking through puddles, talking my mumbles. I'm lost in the jungle and I've evolved into a gung-ho folk and fighting for fun though. I'm marching my own drum roll, a soldier of fortune on the border of morphine, doing older absorption. I breathe steam, my peeps lean to the discreet screams that teach dreams, and each theme be damned to be the beat team. We play to win while it's each be not afraid to swim more deeply than we be saving him. I'm bringing you wisdom to get in your system and live in the vision that isn't tradition, not getting a ribbon. I'm bringing my fist as admission to visit your prison. The kid won't listen to bitching, the dissing don't piss him off in the distance. I mention redemption and step with discretion, blessing all questions with lessons of essence. Invest in my guesses in the messes that stresses me out, quest that I confess about with lessons that be infecting your mouth. Ayo, me and Jack leaning back, reading raps, bleeding facts, seeing cats fleeing act, we and apt to being back. My key is cracked, believe my mat over another key and facts. When we get back, we should be in act, son. I'm loving that.
It's tough to chew the subterfuge cut up for you who love the food of pre-construed ham and eggs. Not every young MC knows how to bust a move. Hats off. Come on, get on. Hats off the bald spot and scratching your head, cracking the asphalt. I catapult raps through sheets of lead. Hats off the bald spot and scratching your head, cracking your math off. There's weighted values in every syllable said. The smoke hasn't risen to reveal the face of this missing element. Cornered in the peanut gallery, cracking shells for the pink elephant. Therefore, you won't see me like John Madden at an airport. Stand north and let the winds cover up the stink of intelligence I'd prepare for. Apocalypse, but I'm an optimist. Either your head is down for hip-hop or you hop on to whatever's hip. No light for the monotonous, Mike Rhinoceros illuminates the dark with glowing eyes and horns caked in white phosphorus. I wouldn't be too confident, do not forget. Those who talk about you are usually the same ones you share your gossip with. Intoxicant, head rush, the oncoming front looms ominous. And having said such, I may have just exposed the anonymous. Noted economists ponder a new model to explain gains or market change happening well overheads like photo reconnaissance when I take stage. Trace space to the outer edge of the area fenced in. Powder keg and a campfire trying to rekindle what I forgot to begin. Hats off the bald spot and scratching your head, cracking the asphalt. I catapult raps through sheets of lead. Hats off off the bald spot and scratching your head, cracking your math off. There's weighted values in every syllable said. Hats off the bald spot and scratching your head, cracking the asphalt. I catapult raps through sheets of lead. Hats off the bald spot and scratching your head, cracking your math off. There's weighted values in every syllable said. Stay unlisted, like home phone numbers to politicians. Pay to listen to become radio spoon-fed, the new industry delicious. MCs new at this are easy to spot like American tourists overseas. But who am I to say? I didn't want to stop the fluidness, emotion approaching the point of being frozen open, trying to complete the closing in hopes of showing holes with minerals women soak they toes in. You posing, and I know this, he'll hold this. Will I find a good finger to pick my nose with? And you thought no one would notice? Now that's fucking hopeless, quote unquote. This dosage of corrosive correspondence wore through the notion that osmosis wouldn't gradually absorb the knowledge. Over the course of miles, style got wild like the heroin of Lexley Lawless. Now it's just how to break away and free the doves from the sand dollar. Just imagine the manpower needed to construct the Great Pyramids. Now triple that in a half an hour and ask yourself how well you're really hearing this. Appearances may be what is wanted for you to perceive, occasionally leaving something out front to divert attention from an ace up a sleeve. Hats off the bald spot and scratching your head, cracking the asphalt. I catapult raps through sheets of lead. Hats off the bald spot and scratching your head, cracking your math off. There's weighted values in every syllable said.
This virus puts you in a state of hip-hop panic, like your wife's in labor but you're stuck in gridlock traffic, or you're strapped to a gasoline mattress and I just happen to ignite a book of matches and toss one onto the fabric. You can't escape the madness when you're lost inside the labyrinth. It's like you dropped a hit of acid and had a bad trip. You're claustrophobic and you got locked inside of a casket. I scar more flesh and snatch than character played by Brad Pitt. I've had it with these whack cats who claim assassin but can't hit a hole that you could fit your entire past in. Have your seatbelt fastened and prepare for a crash landing when me and Jack come together and we start snapping.
I've done this to numbness, magnetized motion, spin the compass, lightheaded from stepping with an infested foot fungus. In case of sudden loss of pressure in the cabin, the lack of oxygen will have you shot before you can get your seatbelt unfastened. The biz need not be sinister. Pus doesn't just rise up from nowhere to fizz without baking soda and vinegar. Apply weight to the chords that vibrate. Get into the thought bubble with therapist Joe, and you can forget the blind date, cause wax ciphers break up parties like your father was home. We'll lay the verbal full play. I go straight for erogenous zones. You ain't gotta get stoned to solidify the state of mind. To slit throats with a flip poem or the same sun in a different shade of time. Check the mic, we're reciting rebuttal, so recondite. You won't know whether to be hardly troubled or set the fight at the speed of light. Whistle as I tear through air. You'll need more than Walter Math out of line up these bad news bears. I don't care about jealous retards who wanna keep cars. Never been served at the table and now they wanna eat ours. Holy Moses, brought this back of the line like scoliosis. Need a breather like a room full of smokers choking with emphysema. Only wrote this on the focus of pleasure very close to pain. And when the smoke lit, the resultant fever will stick out like varicose veins. Suspended laws of physics, your man be like, you gotta get this. Jack and Mike V, not just socks for Christmas. I can hardly hear myself think.
Yo, turn this mic up.
I'm running through these echoes through sleep.
Yo, turn this mic up.
It's nothing without a heart that can bleed.
Yo, turn this mic up.
So it's off down these halls in between.
What's all that nice stuff?
Cause you know what time it is, like staring at a wall with 4 clocks. This is where the warlocks swarm and form like a thunderstorm watch. Hurting your ears like off-roading through your corn crops with Clorox pouring out of the door locks. Unorthodox like prostitutes boycotting porn shops. Isolate your sweat like Fort Knox until your pores rot. When you think you caught your balance, that's when the floor drops. Wake up the next morning with unexplainable sore spots. You don't hear me though, like both of your ears have been torn off. Your sword soft, it couldn't lacerate my windpipe. With speech geared to withstand the leap year of fist fights. Despite your brisk swipe, you missed twice. You ain't never met 2 cats on the mic that have been this nice. Signing off for Jack Cracker and the virus they call Big Mike.
I can hardly hear myself think.
Yo, turn this mic up.
I'm running through these echoes through sleep.
Yo, turn this mic up.
It's nothing without a heart that can bleed.
Yo, turn this mic up.
So it's off down these halls in between.
What's all that nice stuff?
I can hardly hear myself think.
Yo, turn this mic up.
I'm running from these echoes through sleep.
Yo, turn this mic up.
It's nothing without a heart that can bleed.
Yo, turn this mic up.
So it's off down these halls in between.
What's all that nice stuff?
From the depths of lethargic and thoughts to repress sexual desires that burn beneath the eyes like some sort of pagan festival of fire. Comes a heartwarming tale down a trail with a pail of rusty nails. Art forming under this veil of secrecy gives me the breeze I need to sail. As the muscular matures, so does the cost the customer incurs. Must have been deferred, so instead of waiting, you drop like a credit rating. Just a pest with words with a restless urge to mess with birds and observe the preferred perch to perform the annual ritual of mating. High resolution of microscopic illusions where molecules butt heads like McCarthy and Truman and we're given permanent markers to draw false conclusions. It's all pollution in the cloning of humans through informal institutions, in the midst of which you went cheap on lyrics as an affordable solution. But there's more than one way to get these dogs to roll over like 401ks, so it's stupid to lose it over some critic and music who overvalues his own praise. Fought through the haze of impulse to obtain and thought before I bought it. By the way, anything not adding up will be caught in today's audit.
Yo, motherfucker sitting down, man. What the fuck? You come to see a hip-hop show or
What
some
up?
fucking
Somebody get
R&B fucking Backstreet Boys shit, man? Get the fuck up for these motherfuckers.
What
These
are you
are some
talking-
real
Yeah.
MCs
Yeah.
with some real fucking beats. What the fuck kind of show you come to see,
go.
motherfucker?
Hey, hey,
The
hey,
fucking
hey,
Backstreet Boys
hey,
jerk
hey,
off,
hey,
motherfucker.
I'm gonna bust a fucking acapella. Fuck this.
Fuck that. That's my
Yo, check. Yo. Check.
What?
Yo. I rock like Saddam dropping bombs from the hookah. Catch her in the rock, calling the game like Bob Uecker. Rhyme super, I should be changing the payphones. Flip the script like Jim Everett did the table to Jim Rowe. What? I take angles at 365 directions and keep rappers pinned down like a butterfly collection. Justified perfection. Crackers bugging 40 insecticide while they pacify their overgrown complexion.
Right.
Used to backspin on 6 feet of kitchen tile. I bought weak MCs back to the Stone Age plus half a mile. I throw page like Satchel when the strike zone's fragile to take my Hall of Fame intoxicated swings to Mickey Mantle.
Yep.
Hard to handle, like Ron Dane and Camp Randall, where hip-hop get less support than ankles and flip-flop sandals. They'd rather see a cracker hunting deer in a red flannel than to be on mic pushing the boundaries of socially acceptable check.
And that is the truth.
That's that shit. Let's get this shit going.
Twist the limit so it fits in the image. From the SS Minnow to the Nimitz. Spin webs for widows where demos all have that shiny finish. Pivot, and you can be replaced like a divot. So when it hits the fan, I check the ceiling to see what's sticking to it. In slumber under tundra, the vast unknown to prey the hunter. On a budget bestowed upon luck of a wall that I found in El Segundo. I often wonder the universal structure, man's insatiable hunger for the custard of life that ruptures from nature's breath. But she is the mother. With your feet above the clouds, it's easy to look down. And from another point of view, it's easy to see through and out and around. Bound for adventure like LB Mangles. Tangled in a crowded Egyptian marketplace, trying to walk like the Bangles. Wow, without the old lean, love, hope, and sex and dreams. Without the Bodines, protein for the industry, facial on time like Old Faithful. Take pulls from the cable when the mic's smoking. Only made for a chosen few from the residue spewed by this motion. Now, is anything this crisp ever come from a blur? Getting squeezed like a drag bunt with a runner at third. From up under the earth to disclose what glows below the system as a whole. So for what it's worth, I'll never know. Seeing I'll never bitch and moan to win a gold. Lo and behold, you have now been lowered in the abyss of a passionate kiss between the lips of my reality, so to speak, and little I do with this. Never intended to mislead you with paresthesia. Now, will that be cash, check, MasterCard, or Visa? I don't need to drink to have an excuse to act foolish. Open the fridge, some purple juice and Sunny D. My mom's the coolest. While others be discussing me behind rose-scented tulips that talks dead like the grass under my inflatable pool is. From when I was a few feet tall at showbiz playing skee ball, to when I'm an old thought greeting people at Walmart. Back to where it all starts to make sense, then falls apart once again till out the gums my teeth fall to be replaced by gems. It was all for the art of it. Nautilus in the stream of consciousness discovered possible pockets of underground around Wisconsin. Constant homage wasn't the promise, so I'ma keep it honest. But honestly, I don't see a reason to be anything other than modest. Cause just when you think you got your debts paid, you find pictures of your wife on the internet dressed as a French maid. Microphone checkmate, patience is the best bait. And I'm hungry man, you just ate. Exactly, appetite for Mike be popping like acne. In fact, that's me with my cupboards locked up looking for the latchkey. Inhale and blow out like birthday candles and bad knees. One toe got heads nodding like girls on trampolines. Bring it back to go now, hey, can't hold back, this is the hold down, baby. You ain't familiar with the flow. On your way out, don't forget to put the towel under the door. Bring it back to go now, hey, can't hold back, this is the go round, baby. You ain't familiar with the flow. On your way out, don't forget to put the towel under the door. Home to the beach with no map, keeping my hands sandy. Throw raps like Koufax for more than Mandy. Hats off, jacks on your head like a bounty. This quilted northern exposure, let myself in with the house key. Hoist the curtains on this noise disturbance, with or without me, the show must go on. At the bell saved by Kelly Kapowski announcing amountings. So start counting and stop shouting. Don't need to be golfing with ex-dolphins or skiing European mountains. My youth still fountains from out this, till I'm doing less drinking and more lunches with my accountant. The mouse will play when the cat gets spayed. Spotless cascade, countless countertops blocked with a masquerade of dirty dishes. Assassinate the seed and never question the flower pot, but usually only takes about an hour's worth of distance to fix this. Now is not, wait, resistance. Stole the government's UFO files and escaped in a spaceship. Back to the basement, bring it back to go now. Hey, hey, can't hold back, this is the go round, baby. You ain't familiar with the flow. On your way out, don't forget to put your towel under the door. Bring it back to go now, baby. Can't hold back, this is the hold down. Hey, hey, you ain't familiar with the flow. On your way out, don't forget to put the towel under the door. The day after Thanksgiving, purchase an athletic club membership with full benefits and only end up going through December 5th, huh? I can't remember with what or when, but I got a clue beyond the board game. Subject to 10 frames of mind, you can read in bed. I'm usually asleep on the 4th page. Short change at the parking meter. Rob Paul to pay Peter. Rob Peter to pay Paul with possession is 9/10 of the law. Cheated the difference between what you seen and what you told him you saw. Don't need to hold them all, chance to draw, cause I got faith like Tim McGraw. Hoping to get the call from out the bullpen. This wolf's been with old hens and fox dens, but if you're not him off your ass, I'll have to pull friends. Got to know when to hold them, throw them, shoulder them, and fold them. Got the Trojan horse past the city gates to indicate we're not as safe as the product we sold them. I told them it would never drain without a hole in the area swollen. While your wife's bowling on a ladies' night out, complaining how you're so controlling. And it's like this everywhere life is. My nights just slip through the cracks of the shades where the morning light is pierced through to be amongst the brightest. Left a mess in the sink trying to wash out the idea you don't think with the rest. It's not just girls who dress up to drink and guys who drink to impress. Make up sex or less or maybe more. It depends on who you ask. Suppressed dresses, uncompressed tracks, dub them, take cassettes. Back to the birthday you revert to in the earthquake. No matter how late your curfew referred to as who before you heard of me. Now all of a sudden it concerns you. With the urgency of a worker bee, I fill these honeycombs with funny poems so there's nowhere to turn to. Start running home with a bloody nose of virtue. Studies have shown listeners may experience extended periods of weightlessness. Life never feels to leave me curious the variety of ways we try to escape from it. Take from whatever you make of it, or leave the rest, or wait for it all to catch up in the end. By the time it's too late to confess, faced with a death, and that the reality that the chase until then is the hardest thing to accept. With only a trace of it left, that's hardly worth scraping off the basement steps. Stop wasting your breath, 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 wasting your breath. Mindset the rhyme, send the body through convulsions. Shook to the spine, shaking arms, a bully pulpit. Jacks out the box, these crackers acting like they want it. When war comes to poker, I'm flushed out like a toilet. Fuck diamonds, I'm gonna be the first MC to start wearing opals. Stuck rhyming in the subway, losing weight with Jared Fogle. My Jew yodels to the sum of a new total. That if put in a ring could spring into a few new marriage proposals. Then an engagement with an elaborate floral arrangement and wedding invitations that double as flimsy refrigerator magnets. Who am I kidding? That's just my head in the movies where I'm too busy eating popcorn to possibly let the plot move me. You're goofy. I already know so hold those comments for yesterday's show before I lose control of a stale piece of Bazooka Joe. New to know? Oh, the yes, don't let your food get cold. Hungry enough to boil a piece of leather vest to place a bet on the Super Bowl. Mindset the rhyme. rhyme, send the body through convulsions. Shook to the spine, shaking arms, a bully pulpit. Jacks out the box, these crackers acting like they want it. When war comes to poker, I'm flushed out like a toilet. Mine set the rhyme, send the body through convulsions. Shook to the spine, shaking arms, a bully pulpit. Jacks out the box, these crackers acting like they want it. When war comes to poker, I'm flushed out like a toilet. The empty lies that skills can somehow be improvised. Stay unidentified as an MC, I exist, you simply exemplify. Flying object, define logic, steal from iron minus a carbon composite. Dying from an undiagnosed diagnostic and hot shits. Not just putting heat to crap, piece the facts back together and reconstruct an obvious plot to act. Rap the endeavor, forever indebted to hip hop. Either you get good, gone, or baby you get got your lips locked. The breathing apparatus needed at this depth, or step next to delivery with no help from the forceps. 50 nymphos in corsets, all screaming for more sex as I willingly left to the liquor store for a case of Corvex. Don't try to be a Rolex if your secondhand ticks. Semantics you can't picture like Ellen DeGeneres sucking a man's dick at the bottom of the sea in a submarine sandwich. No jubilee, but I do believe another pawn place for the gambit. Waited all day for the accolade of this night. Damn, it doesn't feel good, but it hurts so right. Unearth the life for the party to get tanked and sling mud. Verbal transfusion to the heart, I'd be the first to give blood. Mine set the rhyme, send the body through convulsions. Shook to the spine, shaking arms, the bully pulpit. Jacks out the box, these crackers acting like they want it. When war comes to poker, I'm fleshed out like a toilet. Mine set the rhyme, send the body through convulsions. Shook to the spine, shaking arms, the bully pulpit. Jacks out the box, these crackers acting like they want it. When war comes to poker, I'm fleshed out like a toilet. Yeah, come on. Check it. Yeah, as tight as I keep the microphone clutched. Turn my knuckles white like milk in styrofoam cups. Behold the leverage, being not sold on rhetoric. Roll the credits, it's over. Tomato eyes, where's my bowl of lettuce? Poetic, pirate like Pittsburgh to keep this nerd calm. No need to try pies, I got a direct line to Stickler's mom. Penalize the whole 9 yards for end zone celebrations. Prescribe potency of rhymes to send you home with medication. While some feel the urge to document their competence, I peel words off the wall surrounding this single occupant. I'd hop the fence and drop the mess of any work environment. But what's the motivation of a part-time employee seeking early retirement? Split like marriages into veggie dip and carrot sticks. Till it's apparent I want it worse than girls that squander their inheritance for a pair of tits. And it doesn't take a team of psychologists to acknowledge this shit as smooth as your mama's upper lip after sessions of electrolysis. It's all politics. Indian reservations and space colonists in 96. Rolling splits for a dorm room full of college kids. Supplements or supplements. You'll need to keep shooting cause the putrid aftertaste is harder to kill than Rasputin. Rap exclusive as radar tracks the movement. A vast improvement when compared to that lacks the juices. To keep it confusing, they blind you with stars to their amusement and map the blueprint of the sky that resides confined to the piercing toothpick.
You're soft like an old man with erectile dysfunction, while I'm fat like the material left after a breast size reduction. Unless I'm abducted, I ain't leaving no time soon. Tycoon that flood cities like typhoons at high noon. I'm controlled and lethal like grenades inside gazebos. I touch kids with roughness like pedophiles in local preschools. I'm doper than an open gym that Michael Jordan's in. Pouring gin on broken limbs, focusing on how to score again. Scorching rims, I'm hot like spotlights placed in the face of little orphan kids. Mike Virus stays tight like a contortionist inside of a hollow bowling pin that's unproportionate. MCs will swear to God that they was born again. I'm going to win, there's no question when I'm blessed. And who's the next contestant? Get infected, known to blow your dome to sections. Microphone digestion, my intestines amplified 9 times the mind's dimensions. Resentless rhyme connections, blind the eyes of samurais with size that fly in 5 directions. I ran to the silo with weapons and denied inspection. My hand holds a collected canteen of caffeine. They tried to run from the virus, but they all died from the vaccine. Straight up and down, dude, rappers shouldn't bother. This crackler smack a rap to amp your grandpa and father. I'm half revolver, cause I spit on tracks that cover me while I sit on your hip in a plastic holder. I'm hype enough to give you props and nice enough to get you shots. When times are rough, I kid you not. When I come up to rip the spot, liven up if you're not. The time is up to get you got the type of son who gets you pot and hides it from your moms and cops. I'm the one around the clock with twice the fun of everybody. Life is one big rolling pot of life, money and rolling rock. I'm saying stop it for rip spots like Lorena Bobbitt, the famous pothead chilling out in a tainted cottage. I should have stayed in college and work all day as a novice. Haha, I'm playing cause honest to this life I pay homage. Jack and I rap to die, die to rap half the time. Trap my eyes, minds collapse after time. You'll get my facts.